So probably one of the coolest mechanisms I've ever seen in a robot is the KUKA KR350 wrist joint. Partially because at first I had no idea how it worked. It's weird because all the motors for the axes are on one end of the robot, but the actual axes are on the other end. So there's some sort of mechanical assembly in between the motor and the actual axis. My first idea was to just buy one used for parts and then take it apart, but I can't afford that. So then there's the option of buying them new from KUKA, but they're priceless. They don't have a price. There's no price on them. You can't find the price, which probably usually means I can't afford it. So I stumbled upon this file on the internet, which is an entire assembly for the entire robot, all the mechanical parts and everything. So I loaded it up into Inventor and reverse engineered it on my computer. Okay, so this is the file that I downloaded. It's a little messed up since I imported it, but it's pretty much all there. So get rid of this. This is the inside of pretty much all the mechanism here. Basically, you have the motors out here, and then it transmits the power through these shafts here, and it goes through universal joints. And those joints go down to this gear assembly, which basically all it does is takes a center shaft here, and that will move these outer gears, and those outer gears power this circular gear. And this circular gear is directly connected to axis 4. And so the middle shaft here is what actually moves axis 4. And the top shaft is going to open this gearbox. The top shaft goes through here, and then that will spin the gear connected to the rod here. And this is where the shaft within a shaft assembly really works here. So you have your inner shaft, you have your outer shaft, and that shaft also rotates on a bearing inside of axis 4 here. So the top one here will feed the outer barrel, and the bottom one will feed the inner rod that goes through it, the inside right there. So it looks really complicated, but it's a really simple and effective design. And then once you get past into axis 4, it is all transmitted through belts, so that that outer barrel is going to feed and drive this pulley, this timing pulley, and the inner rod is going to feed this timing pulley. And then the belt gets wrapped around these idlers and then feeds into these other idler pulleys. So this inner one is what moves axis 5, and that's directly connected, and that'll move axis 5 here. And then the outer pulley actually goes all the way through with another shaft within a shaft assembly right there, and it feeds this bevel gear here that transmits the power to this shaft, and that shaft will go to axis 6 through gears. And mine works just about the exact same way. I would have shown it, but I've lost the assembly files when I got a new hard drive, which is annoying, but pretty much works the exact same way, except it's a lot more simplified and compact. Well, here it is. This is what the end result was. Here I'm moving in the individual motors based on the switches on the sort of interface in the front there. There's the belt assembly. There's universal joints transmitting the power from the motors into the gearbox. There's axis 6 moving. An emergency stop will disable the power to the motors, and when it's re-enabled, the power goes back to the controller board. And all the electronics are easy to access through the front panel that opens, and then also the back panel unbolts to get better access. They all slide out on this sort of sled, which made it so much easier to assemble, because then I could build the panel on the sled and then just slide it in and then do all the wiring. And then I made a cover for it, which actually fits on there, but I didn't put it on there so you can see the inside. And I plan to keep it off, that's why there's an indent in the bottom for it. All the parts for this project I recorded time lapses of with my Mirobot, and that video will be linked down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and that's all for this time.